Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully, everybody's having a great day. I know I am. Uh, my ears and my throat are starting to clear up some, so that's good. Went down and hung out with Noah today down at Ecovate and worked on the Optimus P1 some. So hopefully, you guys saw the post. We do have that pushing plastic again. We finally finished the cube. It's definitely in need of some tuning, but it is printing. That's always good. Tuning we can always work on as well. But yeah, if we're not pushing plastic, that's an issue. But we are pushing plastic. So welcome on in, Thunder Keys. Hey, Icarus, Timor, Eagle the Dragon. How are you doing? I hope everyone's doing well and prepared for a fun weekend with family and friends. And if you don't have anybody to spend your holiday with, Tesliz is going to be streaming all day on Thursday, so it's always an option there. Sorry, I'm working on cleaning up some brims off some prints right now. Trying to get ready for the stream still. As I said, I was down at Ecovate 3D and was running a bit behind due to traffic and a few other things. So, but I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone is doing well. So we've got an interesting project that we're going to be working on. It's Snapping Turtle Day. Yes, I saw that and I meant to jump on. I don't think I am able to log in on this computer. I might have to jump over and log in on the other computer. Well, maybe. Nope. Nope. All right, I'll have to do that later. But yeah, Snapping Turtle Day. Thunder Keys, you want to throw the Kickstarter link in there? So for those of you who don't know, there's a new item out that's in the box turtle sort of ecosystem from Armored Turtle 3D. It is called the Snapping Turtle. It is an electrically activated cutting system. So that way, rather than using a like a trigger and moving your tool head around, you can actually just send a signal and actuate your cutter. From what I was seeing, so it helps give you consistent cuts. You're not having to try and ram the tool head 2 or 3 times to get a good clean cut. It's just electrically activated, and it the nice thing is it works with various extruders, various tool heads, so there's various mounting patterns that you can use. So that's kind of cool. Let me see, where are we at here? $59 for the Kickstarter. 99 backers. How many are left? 3 items included: Snapping Turtle, 2 blades, and the wire harness. There's a limited edition red at $89. 8 left of 20 of that one. Looks like this one, is this one completely done with, or is this just an open one? Be an open one. A green, a blue, an IDEX package. Nice. Tool changer pack. So 6 tools here. So kind of a pick your poison type of thing. But yes, Snapping Turtle Day. $59 tier is unlimited. Okay, there we go. And is this a... All right, so I'm assuming on this tier you're printing your parts, and on the other tiers, are you getting the colored printed parts already? Or is it just not black? Honestly, I saw this. I haven't looked at it much because I just saw a post from it all comes assembled, ready to go. Okay, there you go. Cool. Hey, Mr. Wizix. Yeah, I just saw a post from Jason with LDO that was, you know, talking about this. I've been kind of out of the loop, folks. You know, between being in Germany at Formnext, coming back, being under the weather, we ran over to Ecovate today to hang out with Waters a little bit, and I worked a little bit on the Optimus P1. But yeah, fun times. Fun times. I'm just a little bit out of it. But this is going to be the project we're working on today, which is the Doom Shield by AlexGeekWorkshop. This is a mechanical shield, which means that your blades will spin. You'll be able to actually pull the chain to tension the spring and then let go of the brake with your finger, and it will start rolling. So that's going to be a cool little addition to our prop setup here. Hey Zombie, how's it going? So that's what we'll be working on building today. So I think I've got a lot of the parts laid out here that we'll need to get started with. And with that, I do want to flip over here to the bench real fast. And just say, for those of you that were here for yesterday's stream, we completed our FDM Geos. This is in EPAX PET G metallic red with metallic gold as the accent. I think these came out really, really nicely. And I just want to point out, this is a 5-inch woofer or mid-range woofer with a 3/4 inch tweeter. And I'm going to tell you that this is the first print of 4 to make up the subwoofer enclosure. So this print is pretty much the same volume size as one of these, and there's 4 of these prints that are going to be put together for the subwoofer. So this is just under a kilo. The next one that's printing, that I just started printing right now, is just under a kilo. And then the other 2 are 1.1 kilo each. So fingers crossed we have no more print failures, and I should have enough of the metallic red to finish it. If not, we're going to figure something out, because I only have 3 kilos of the glass ruby red, because that's all they had. And they're not getting any more for a couple of months because they're having to do a new production run. So yeah, fingers are crossed that we don't have another print issue and we can get all 4 parts of the subwoofer enclosure done. We will be listening to these speakers probably tomorrow at some point because the cables that I ordered are coming in. But yeah, we've got a new project to start on because that's what we like to do, right? Just continue to work on projects, maybe finish one here or there. Zombie knows about that. What's a finished project? So I'm just grabbing a few things like, you know, super glue and accelerator because we're going to have to put some parts together here. And I will say, if only we had Zombie Hedgehog Makes red in Pet G, but we don't. Because that is a really nice red. I do like that red. So, the Alex Geeks Workshop Doomslayer shield, we've got 3 main parts. We have an outer shield, an inner shield piece, and then we've got that central hub that makes the spinning action. Okay? And we're starting off, I believe, with, is this, yes, this is going to be the outer side of the shield. There are some print blemishes here. We are going to have to do a little bit of sanding and stuff like that on this to make it very nice, to paint it up and stuff like that. But the goal is to try and make this a nice prop that we can put behind us in the shop space. I think my foot on my speaker left some crud on here, or something did. I'll have to clean that off. Let me see if I can't wipe this down before we get started. But we're going to go ahead and try and get this assembly going here. It's going to be a couple of sessions to get this build done, just because there's so much to do with it. Just a little bit of IPA. Probably a little bit too much, but that's okay. And I promise you all that we will be getting back to the Ender 3 NG build. I will be cutting those parts probably tomorrow. I've just been slacking and focusing on a bunch of other stuff these days. Like I said, announcements will be forthcoming. But yeah, a lot going on in the background. So there we go. Nice and clean. So we've got various pieces of shield here. We've got multiple different types of, we'll call them stitching fasteners. These are just pieces that will be used to link the shield pieces together to try and make it one homogeneous piece and keep it all together. And as always, there's no instruction for this, so we're just going to be following along with a video guide here as he talks about it. So, so it looks like we're going to need to do that 4 times to get our initial pieces here set. I'm going to try and look at these. As you might see here, we've got a little bit of a gap there. Part of that's going to be the curvature. Some of that's just going to be possibly a little bit of warp. So what I'm going to do is try and see if I've got parts that come together nicer than others. And if so, then I will go ahead and put those together. And then we'll go and work our way around. And I think, at least on this piece, that we're running into just about the same amount of gap. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Probably a little bit nicer there. And that one's about the same. So I think we'll start with these two. Did I lose people, or hopefully not? But yeah, I hope everybody's having a good day. Form Next was awesome. I know Lily was streaming earlier. She might still be streaming right now. So we've got that. I probably should have checked to make sure this is going to fit in before I did that. Which way does this go? Most likely the other way. Yeah, make sure your parts fit before you start putting glue on things. So let's fix that. I feel like this goes in one way or the other. It's made to be a tight fit, but here we go. So it's got some like indents that help to pull it tight when you get them in, but it's getting them in that's going to be interesting. Might need to use the little, there we go, a little persuasion and a little hammer. So that's going to be a nice tight fit there. Hmm. I'm just looking at how this holds stuff together. And actually, I may want to sand these edges down to try and get a little bit better flatness on them. Not on these pieces, but on the adjoining pieces here. I think sanding these along the edge would help to get rid of some of that bow and make sure that we're flat edge to flat edge. So I might actually do that before we get started here. Do I have sandpaper? That's a good question. Can you kind of tell that I didn't think this through 100%? That's kind of where my mind's at right now, is not thinking it all through 100%. Because like I said, we've got a lot of things going on here in the Dragon Den right now. So let's just chat about some stuff. I'll sit down. We're not going to build anything right now because mentally my brain's shot. We'll get back to this in a minute, but right now I just need to do a little bit of a reset. So let's bring you down here a bit. Maybe bring you in a bit closer. Not that close. Wow. Okay. So, as many of you know, we've been looking for some shop space, right? Things are getting tight here in the Dragon Den. We've had a lot of builds going on, and we need to spread some things out a little bit. So, we got some shop space. Before I left for Formnext, I submitted an offer to lease some space, and it got approved while we were at Formnext. So that's kind of where part of where my mind's been, is working on some of that stuff, trying to get things ready so that, hey, Maker Viking, how's it going? So that we can start to get things set up and get ready for moving a bunch of stuff for shop. So that's kind of partly where my mind's been. It hasn't been on trying to keep things ready to go here. It's just been all over the place. Yeah, that's some of the stuff that's been going on. Going well. You've been working on Tinker Atlas. Well, awesome. For those of you that don't know, Maker Viking has an application called Tinker Atlas that allows you to log in, register, and identify yourself as a maker in the community, and identifies what projects you're working on, prints, builds, all kinds of stuff. So once again, what I'm doing is just working on my bench right here. While we talk, while we chat, I'm just taking the edge, trying to sand it down. I've got some high grit sandpaper here. I'm just trying to use my table here to be able to give me a chance of trying to get a straight edge on these. Also knocking this down and getting a little bit of rougher texture here that'll make it easier when we go into attach these, because it'll give it another place to bite. rather than a smooth printed edge. So social media platform for makers, tinkers without the noise of the other social platforms. Yeah, that's actually really nice. Without the noise is the extra special stuff, because you know there's a lot of social media sites out there. We're posting all over the place on them, but there is a lot of noise. So for makers, by a maker, makes it extra special. And hey Waters, how's it going? Long time no see. Well, that popped free. See if we can't get this back down there. Listen, one eating over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, one did go eating over here, didn't it? Eat-tastic. Don't know where it went. We'll have to find it later. There's that. So, yeah, Cat is somewhat out of the bag in the fact that I have found a workshop space. So, the month of December, you'll see some content as we're doing some move stuff and trying to prep the space to move printers and everything over. And then, yeah. Hey, Jedi Spidey, how's it going? Like I said, we're just trying to get these a little bit flatter, make up for some of the warping that probably was induced with the print. No cats escaped. Burn it. It's going to be about 10 minutes from the house, so that'll be nice. Yeah, that's going to be nice. It's pretty close to the house. I know in the past when I was working on my airplane build, the hangar that I was renting was down here in Sanford, which made it like an hour's drive just to go and work. And then, you know, work for 6 hours or so, then drive home. So it made for very, very long days. And Mrs. Dragon didn't like me being gone all that long. Especially when I was down there by myself a lot. This will be close enough that she can come by and check on me. And it's going to be a big enough space that if people wanted to come and hang out and work on stuff, they can. So Hey, projects, how's it going? We're going to work on just getting some things done. I realize that, yeah, my brain's all over the place right now. So, chatting with everybody and just doing some mindless tasks, like, really? That's what you're going to do? Focus down here. Goodness gracious. Why are you stop tracking? Direction. Where are you going? Every once in a while, I think these cameras have a mind of their own. Hanging out in a Walmart parking lot. I would ask why, but I'm sure I don't want the answer. Skynet's trying its best. Yep. All right. So we got some of that done. We will be working on getting these put together using our printed locking pieces in here, as well as the top pieces. Probably going to be best also if I grab some clamps, which I have a few of here. And this might also help try and get these lined up. We'll see. Wasn't you, no cats escaped. So how are you feeling, Jedi Spidey? Were you able to get your printer moved upstairs, or are you waiting until Thursday? How's it going down under Maker? Exactly, Spidey. We'll be closer. You can come hang out and say hi. Okay, so we're going to need that. Line this edge up. Do that. Line this edge up. Grab it there. Grab one of these and see if we can't lock it in position again. Goodness gracious, these things are a pain in the butt to get in. It's great that they're tight, but they shouldn't be that darn tight. There we go, one side in. There we go. One done. We'll set that aside and let it hopefully set up. We'll do another one. Now there are some trim pieces here as well that will go in. So once we get them like this piece comes in from the top and will be used to kind of lock them in there at that side. So, so the total building size is 3,100 square feet. Gonna have to do some work though on the electrical. It's like 1948 electrical. Well, the building was built in 48. Looks like there's some original 48, some 60s, and then some 2000s. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of electrical work to make sure that it's good for the 3D printers. But not too bad. Not too bad to get stuff done. Okay. So like I said, these are pretty tight fit on these clips, but they are helping to align things, so that's good. And actually, I kind of think I want to put the put our decorative pieces up, because that is going to help. Now what I want to see is make sure I'm using the right decorative piece. Yes. So I'll go ahead and get this one ready to go on there. Pop that off. Pop that on, try and pull it tight. Put our clamp back on it. And the other thing we'll probably do is, once we get this stuff put together, is we'll come back here with our, I got a plastic welder, and we'll hit some of these seams just to help make it one homogeneous piece again. Maybe if you renew your lease, you could split the bill with the owner on some solar on the roof. Possibly. Or whatever. Who knows? Maybe down the road we look at it and we go, you know what? We just want the building. Maybe we just make them an offer on the whole building. But we'll have to see. We talked to a couple of folks at Formnext that were out of the Midwest, and that's basically what was happening for one of them. Is they were looking at renting a building, and they found out that the owner was going to sell it, and they were like, well, let's just throw an offer down there and see what they say. I mean, if you don't ask, if you ask, you have a 50-50 chance. If you don't ask, you got a 100% chance of a no, right? So, something to look at. So we're going to set these down here, let them continue to dry, grab the next set and keep going. But it's going to be nice to have a little bit more space to spread some things out. Get some more of the printers going, because part of my issue here with the house is I can't get all of my printers going because of just the circuits that I have. I don't have enough circuits to keep everything going because I keep popping 15 amp breakers. So I really need to put a bunch of stuff on 20 amp circuits to keep things, well, darn you. All right, fine. Let's throw this piece in there. So having a shop that's pretty much all 20 amp circuits will really help in that matter. And help me keep stuff going between here at the house and here and at the shop. We'll be able to continue with a lot of builds because we'll have room for it. We'll have space where we can run a bunch of other printers when we're doing large projects and builds for others. There we go. That one going. I gotta be careful that I don't super glue that to the chair. That would suck. Like John was saying, no, but sometimes yes. What did I miss? I feel like I missed something. Come on and clip in there, you little. I feel like there's a trick to getting this to clip in, and it's a trick that I haven't quite figured out yet. Okay. You clamp there, start getting those laid in there. What the hell? One side goes in, the other side's gonna fight me. Gotta love that. There we go. Ah, a Dutch saying. Gotcha. The answer is no, unless you ask, then it might be a yes. Yep, exactly. So we've got the 4 parts adhering together. Hey, the Mad Owl. Hope you're doing well today. So, the plastic welder trying to think if I have an attachment on this specifically for that, or if I just have the staples. So I do have various staples, and it looks like I do have a smoothing attachment. Get the darn thing on there. So we do have a smoothing attachment on here that we can heat up and then go through and smooth the edges. Kind of melt the edges together down the crease. Now the answer is, or the question is, how much output does this have? 100 watt, well, we should be good with that. I don't think that would be enough to take out the power up here, so we're just gonna hit a couple of places to try and smooth this over some. Let it start getting warm. Already see it discoloring on the tong there. Okay. We're just trying to be careful. We're not trying to set the house on fire here. These parts are printed in PETG. So yeah, no house fires allowed. How's it going, Free Heathen? We're not doing like major penetrating welds here. We're just trying to join the two surfaces together a little bit. Help with our adhesion between our parts. Now we can do the outer edge. We'll see about that. I'm probably just gonna wait and we'll fill this in with some Bondo or something else like that. Also make sure this was now hot. So you wanna put this someplace where it can cool down and not melt a bunch of other things. And if you know me and hot things are not good. So I'm gonna find a good place to set this where I don't bump into it and knock it over. Because we'll use that again here in a little bit once we get the these four pieces now put together. We're going to watch our video a little bit here. And figure out what the next step is. A nice big heat resistant mat. Yeah, we need a few things. So Free Heathen, you missed a slight announcement. A little bit of an announcement. We're gonna watch as he builds some of this stuff here. And then once he gets these four, basically where we're at right here, we'll start following along on the next step. I can't remember, I think we do the centerpiece and start joining everything to the centerpiece. There we go. Yeah, in this case, yeah, he's using a 3D pen and just adding some additional material. Cool. This is kind of what we're going to wind up with at the end of this. I'll let this play through. What did you miss? So I just made the statement that I have some shop space. So yeah, that's the end goal of what we're going to be looking for. So I'm going to pause that for right now and let me grab some stuff. But yeah, right before we went to Form Next, we had put in a bid or an offer on some shop space, and they accepted the offer. So we've got shop space as of the 1st of the month. So we will be going down the rabbit hole a little bit and trying to get stuff ready to go and move over into the shop space. Apparently I failed to get the brim off and deburr this edge, so let me square that away real fast. So yeah, my brain's been kind of all over the place. That's kind of where this started off was, yeah, my brain's just been all over the place as we've been trying to work on that stuff and going over some of the stuff from Form Next and some of our next steps with the automated project. And we talked a little bit about the launch of the snapping turtle, which is a electronic tool head cutter or tool head base cutter for box turtle or any other open source AMS type thing that requires a tool head cutter for multicolor print tool changes. So I know we talked a little bit yesterday about some of the FormNext stuff that we saw, the U1 making its debut and hanging out with the Snapmaker crew on Thursday night at the Snapmaker party. And we also did, you had Prusa's announcement, Bamboo's announcement. We had the Anycubic Cobra S1 Max, which is looking really nice. It actually had a glass door, which is nice because that was one of my criticisms of the Anycubic Cobra S1 was it was all acrylic doors and stuff, and it just felt cheap. So okay. Okay, and I'm going to do a couple of these, get the corners done, and then I'll go grab the hot stick again, and we'll try and close up some seams. that one there. Put a clamp on that. We need to get this piece in, which always seemed to be a little bit harder for me to get in than Alex. Oh, there we go. There we go. And now we'll come back with our heat gun and seal some of those edges that we've got now. So we're just using a plastic welder here. Heating this up, and we're gonna kind of melt right down along the seam here. So yeah, that was a big announcement for me, Free Heathen, was the fact that we do have some shop space now, and we'll be working on, you know, trying to get everything set up here in the semi-near, somewhat near future, so that we can start doing some more things out of said shop space. Some streaming maybe. I think we're gonna have to get this next corner kind of laid in. Okay. But kind of excited. Like I said, a lot's going on in the background, trying to make everything there happen. And yeah, just some crazy time. Crazy time. So, Jedi Spidey, how have things been going with the with your stuff? Because you've been working the farmers market angle. How's that? How's all that stuff going? Ay, 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 ay. There we go. So I'm just trying to provide a top level seam here across these parts to kind of join them. These parts are all printed in PET G, and Elegoo PET G to be, fully transparent there. So this is all Elegoo PET G gray. Trying to keep the business end of that out of my way, because I know me, I will burn myself. Thanks, Heathen. I am very excited. I'm very happy. I'm very proud that we've been able to make this, this next step in getting some shop space so that we can continue to work on stuff and work on some of these cool projects. So it is a big step. And more will come out in the future as we start getting everything set up. Like I said, you'll start seeing some of the streams happen from that new shop space. I'm just trying to tack some stuff in as I work my way around. These pieces are really going to help get the outer edge locked in, and then we can come back in and smooth the inner seam some between the two pieces. We'll also have these pieces that'll lock in, so we should have everything well locked in. We add some plastic welding, and that'll make it even tighter. And of course, we'll also have the option of doing some plastic staples if we really wanted to, or if we feel like the need to get it jammed in there even more. trick with this is just learning the speed. Where you get a decent flow rate, but you're not like going so slow that you're starting to divot in. I'm just trying to smooth out that top surface gap between the parts and then essentially gluing them together on the one side here. Not like we're penetrating all the way through, but we are. Getting a decent little weld there. You need to come through and tack these edges back down. Oh, we're missing a couple of pieces that might help pull some things closer. Okay. All right, that one there. Do this one over here. Stop knocking our bottles and stuff over. Definitely don't knock our black rifle over. That'll be a crying shame. Hey, multi-head boron, how's it going? So this is Elegoo Pet G. And of course, I'm going to have an issue getting this last freaking piece in. There we go, one side. There we go. So now with that last piece in, we can go around and continue to seal up our edges. Once again, Elegoo Pet G Gray. This is the Doom Shield or Doom Slayer Shield from AlexGeekWorkshops. And I'm just trying my best to try and get everything incorporated as a single piece. Um, so for those of you that are in the Raleigh area, I will be having to change the next maker meetup, which was scheduled for the 13th of December. My brother needs our assistance in Virginia that weekend. So me and Mrs. Dragon will be out there that weekend, which means we won't be here to do the maker meetup. So I've got to get with Ecovate and figure out if we can do it, say like the 6th, because I know that they've got another event on the 7th, which is the printer buy sell trade event. Okay. So there's our shield kind of plastic welded together and glued together. Here's how it's going to look. Looks like we are going to have to do some filler on this and gap stuff. No worries. I mean, I figured we were going to have to do something. Now, if we can get the Optimus P1 up, running, and printing well, who knows? Maybe we can try and print this as one big piece if it's available as such. But that's the outer piece of the shell right there. Hope my brother feels better soon. Yeah, so the issue was he had shoulder surgery, and they've got a 3-year-old. Yeah, we'll just go with they are raising their granddaughter, and they just he needs help. His wife has to go away for a work trip, and he just needs help because he can't pick the little one up. So that's basically what's going on there. So we'll let that one sit for a little bit. But he's healing up fine. It's just that he can't, he's not allowed to lift over a certain amount of weight. And we all know that kids don't care about injuries, and they do, not intentionally try and harm you, but they, they'll pull away or jerk away or something like that. And that can be bad. So we're going to go up and help out with the little one. Yeah, it's family. You got to help family. All right. Oh, we got an ad. Come on. Skip that. So what he's doing here is the same type of build, except using larger pieces. So this is 4 printed parts versus the, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces. So if we had the Optimus P1 up and running, this might have been a good thing to do. As you can see, it looks a little bit nicer. But let's see, where's the next part of the build? So this is the wheel hub that's getting ready to get added in. And we do have that piece, so let me flip this over. And it's going to go right here in the middle. Let me grab that. And I'm just making sure that it fits with no issues. And it does. So we'll go ahead and super glue the heck out of this, because this is going to be a critical area. Because once again, this is going to be where your all your springs that will allow your spinning rotation piece to go into. So we're going to have our springs on here, adding tension and rotational tension here. So we want to make sure that this is good and glued in. Got to jump back out and go be dad again. Well, have fun. You have a good Thanksgiving as well, multi-headed boron. I'm just going to sit here and hold this in place for a little bit. Bring a little bit of pressure in like I'm doing CPR on the shield, you know. Think we're good? Once again, he did the 3D printed pin to kind of join things together. I could go through and work that around as well, but and I will tell you that I do not have the rollers printed yet, so we won't be able to do that part. So there's 4 different sizes of roller. All right, have a good one, Waters. I'll let you know if we're going to see you tomorrow or not. There's 4 different sizes of rollers. I believe I only sliced the 50 and 75. I'm hoping that those work no problem. And we'll have to go from there. But I think right now I don't have the printed parts to continue building on this part of the shield. I do have parts of the inner shield, and I'm starting to get parts of the middle shield piece printed out, but that's kind of where I'm at for right now. Wow, this part here is still warm. This obviously is not, but this housing is definitely still warm, so I'll pop that off. I'll go ahead and get the cord wound up, but we won't be able to put this away for right now. Because it's the housing is still pretty hot. Kind of where I was getting at there is I'm about done with what I can do on this project tonight. We'll definitely continue working on this over time. And as time permits, we're going to continue to build stuff or print stuff out so that we can continue. I'll work on cleaning up the parts so that we can build things, because let me double, triple, quadruple check. Yeah, I don't have the bearings printed yet. So this is about as far on the shield as we'll be able to go tonight. Like I said, we are going to have to work on filling in, sanding stuff down in the center of the shield here to make it one continuous piece. That's going to be interesting and fun project to do because, well, we haven't done that yet. Jedi Spidey, if you have any pointers, I am all ears. But yeah, that's going to be somewhat fun to try and get that knocked down. Let me go to just straight bench side. You know, like I said, there's definitely some high and low spots in here, so we're gonna have to get out here, sand stuff down, fill stuff in. I'm thinking we're probably gonna have to use some Bondo initially. Glazing putty ain't gonna cut it on some of these raised edges here, so we're gonna have to do a good layer of Bondo, sand down, try and get it as smooth as we can. But yeah. I know we got a late start tonight, and I know it was a little kerfuffled at the beginning. Like I said, a lot of stuff going on. We do have the Ender 3 NG build we're going to get back into. Like I said, I just need to cut those parts and start going through it. I need to check Project and Dad's Garage. Did you get your build done the other day when you were doing your marathon stream? I was in Germany and didn't get to see too much of it. I did pop in here and there. But yeah, I'm excited to work on some new projects. I'm excited about having the shop, and which is going to allow me to work on some other projects and some larger projects as well. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at tonight. Tomorrow night, I've been invited to participate in a podcast. So you all will see me tomorrow night over with Projects in Dad's Garage. I'm not sure which tool we're going to use. I believe it's going to be StreamYard or something like that. I'm just waiting to get the link so that we can get that set up. And I'm excited. I think what we may do is once we get into the space, which won't be until December 1st or thereabouts, sometime next week we'll be over there and I may just set up a camera or at least just the, oh, I got an Insta360 and just take some footage as we're sitting there. We got to clean some stuff up. We're going to paint some walls. We're going to, we're deciding whether or not we're going to do anything to the floor. I don't know if I want to go through and like diamond sand the floors down and do an epoxy coat or just throw some type of floor covering because it's a straight concrete floor. We'll figure something out though. And, sorry, shiny metal sliver. So let's take care of that. But yeah, we've got to do a build out of the shop. We got to do some electrical work. So fun times ahead. But all that's really what I've got tonight. Let me see, is Lily still streaming? If she is, we will jump over and check her stream out. If she's not, then we will hop into somebody else. Moji's going, Jano's going. Layer by layer. Shenanigans is back up. Yeah, we haven't gone over Shenanigans in a while. We're going to jump over and check out Shenanigans. But everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. I really, really do appreciate having everybody here and being part of this community. It's because of you that all the cool things that I've been able to go and do over the last couple of years, and like going to Forum Next and starting this new adventure with my own shop space and stuff. You know, it's really because of you guys that we're able to do this. So thank you so much for all the support and the love that you guys show me over the years. It's been really amazing. You guys, you know, cheer me on and just help me out. So thank you so much. We're going to be back again. No, we're not going to be back Thursday night. Thursday night, we're going to family for Thanksgiving. But we'll be over on podcasts with Projects in Dad's Garage tomorrow. And then we'll probably be streaming possibly Friday, definitely Saturday. So thank you all for being here. Go with me as we raid into Shenanigans. And you guys have a great evening. Talk to you all later. Bye now. For those of you that are watching over on YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out and being here the whole way. I know it was kind of a weird stream tonight. I apologize, but thank you for being here. If you like what you see in videos that we put out before, please be sure to hit that like button. While you're down there, go ahead and hit subscribe. And, you know, click the bell to get notified of future videos. And speaking of future videos, YouTube's going to be suggesting one right over here. Thank you. Have a great day.